Welcome back. We've got both good news and bad news, I'm afraid. Let's find out what's up. Good news is, if you've seen the last video, we finally got it running. We found out what it was. Super brief recap. It was a tiny little bit of rust underneath the crank position sensor, just stopping the thing from going all the way home. It was getting a small signal, not a big enough signal to actually make this plugs, well, not to tell the ECU not to fire. So, been very productive the last week now. I've not really videoed much of it, I'll be honest, because I've been so busy. So what we're getting done is we're getting the ECU harness wrapped, looking fantastic. I'll put a picture here. We have 2 seconds. I've also wired the battery into the boot. Now I've moved it from the front because, as I think I've said before, I've got a Corsa B servo to go ahead into where the battery location is. So we've moved the battery to here. It's on a proper little bolted down tray, so it's nice and secure. We've got a circuit breaker in here, which, as I put the power back on, you can see the power feeds the alarm, sets the alarm up. Yeah. Oh, hello. Well, that wasn't part of the plan. Yeah, so batteries in, wired in. I didn't video that, I'll be honest. I did intend on videoing it, however, things went a little bit sideways at the time, and I just plainly didn't get it videoed. So there's that. And now to the bad news, unfortunately. Bear in mind, this engine stood best part of 20 odd year. I never expected it to be perfect and be completely faultless, but I have had more problems with it than I hoped I'd had with it. Granted, most of them have been my stupidity that's caused them, you know. It is what it is, we're only human. Anyway, long and short of it is, I've had this running up to temperature, or what I believe up to temperature. My temperature sender, I believe, is actually reading out because it's running. It feels nice and hot, but the gauge isn't hardly going up. So I've got another sender I'm going to whack in there. I've already had to put a new thermostat in because the previous owner of the engine had very kindly left us with 3 strip bolts on the thermostat housing. So what I've done is I've basically put the bolts in from underneath, nuts on the top, clamped it all back down. But I put a new start in anyway while I was on, just to make sure it was right. Going to put a new sender unit in, but what I was trying to get at is, now my gauge is wired up, I've got an engine management light on when it's running. Now, when I do the flash code on it, the flash test on it, for the paperclip test, so you call it, I'm getting 8 flashes and 1 flash, which is a code 81, basically. Now, after a little bit of Googling on Tinderweb, I found that what that's leading to is low voltage on injector number 1. Now, a little bit more Googling, and it says there's a very good chance it could be caused by the injector itself. If the injector's duff, there's a high resistance in the injector, which in turn, the return back to the ECU of the voltage, so the voltage, it won't pick up the full 12 volts, the resistance will actually draw the voltage down a bit. So I'm kind of hoping that it's as simple as that. The site that I was on shows you how to test the injectors. Just test the resistance across the injectors. And in theory, all 4 injectors should give you the same resistance. What I'm looking for is 1, 2, 3 and 4 to give me consistent resistance, and number 1 to give us quite bad resistance. So what we're going to do today is, I'm going to pull the harness back off again for like the millionth time, and check the resistance on them and go from there. If it's not that, the only other 2 things I see that it could be is, 1, the ECU, back to the bloody ECU again. Could be the ECU that could be faulty. I doubt that, I'll be honest with you, just on 1 injector. Nah. And feeling that it's going to be the loom that I've just spent ages wrapping. So I might have to dig into that, so I don't know. But anyway, either way, I've got spares of it all, so hopefully should be quite a simple fix. Other than that, I've got a very loud tappet on here, or a couple of very loud tappets on here. I'm kind of hoping a little bit prolonged running might clear that through. If not, I might have to strip it down, pull the tappets apart, and give them a clean, which I've read you can do. I don't know how reliable that's going to be or not, I don't know, but failing that, as I said before, I do have a donor engine stashed away, so worst case scenario, I'll pop a couple of tablets out of that. The only problem is that donor engine hasn't run in the same length of time as this donor engine hasn't, so I could be swapping out for bad parts again. So I don't know, we'll wing it and see how it goes. But for now, get this stripped. A result that I wasn't expecting. So checking the resistance of the injectors, all 4 injectors, I returned the same result of around 15.7, 15.8 ohms. So I've got consistency across all 4 injectors. Now ECU or harness, begin to worry it might be in the harness after all, which I don't want to change it anymore. I'm done.
Well, I'm kind of guessing that'll do it. See the bent pin on number 1 injector? Let's get this bad boy straightened up and get her running.
Right, so bent pin, 100% result. Car now has, I would say it has a slight misfire on it. I suspect very much that's down to the leads or down to the engine itself, which is my next major issue I've got. So I'm developing a very horrible metally knocking noise on here. I'm hoping and praying that it's just something on the timing belt, like the water pump chattering or one of the 2 idle pulleys chattering. If it's not them, then it looks like it's got to be internal in the engine, which kind of sucks a lot because, well, to be honest, I just don't really have the time to rebuild an engine, but you know, it might end up coming down to that, I don't know. What I'm going to do now, just to try and eliminate it, I'm going to quickly rip the belt off, check the pulleys and see what they're like, because if the pulleys are fried, then hopefully that could explain a little bit of the chatter. If they're not fried, then yeah, it looks very much like it's an internal issue. From there, I'll probably end up having to whip the cam cover off and see if it's top end, or worst case scenario, it could be the bottom end. As I say, I've got a spare donor engine, but the donor engine is sat just as long as this one, so I don't know if that one's going to be any good or not. So I'll just dig in, see what happens. Who knows? Who knows?
I think I found the metal knocking noise. Backing plate on there, but I've noticed that my timing belt has got very loose very quickly for some reason, and I don't know why. So what I think I'm going to do is, because the timing belt was an old timing belt, I don't have the spring that goes between there and there to pull the tension on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop with this for now. I'm happy that that's fixed.
I'm happy that the misfire's fixed or thereabouts. I know I need a new set of plug leads because these ones are pretty shit. I'll be honest, they're old and they're a bit battered. So I'm pretty sure I need a new set of plug leads, and I think that'll cure up the last of the hick and fart on it. I'm still holding out that the engine could be good. I'm gonna order a new timing belt kit, and possibly might even chuck a water pump on it as well, just to cover myself. Yeah, maybe even chuck a new water pump on. I'll see what the water pump's like when I pull the belt off. But for now, I'm just going to put this to bed for now because, as I say, I'm quite happy that it's doing what it should be doing. For now, I just need to get it running up to temperature and get the fan cutting in and out is what I'm wanting for. Still haven't been able to run it that long yet, purely because I don't trust it, I'll be honest. And this is an old timing belt, to be fair. So, you know, rather than risk it and blow the engine up when it might actually still be good, I think I'm going to just wait and, yeah, put a belt on and then we'll run it and see what happens. That's about all we've got time for today. Quick muck about with that. Again, only tiny little steps, but it is another little step closer nonetheless. Again, I am hoping for the start of next month to be able to pull this engine out. Whether that happens now or not, I don't know, because by the time the time belt kit comes, that'll be the tell. Still not sure what to do with that back cover, because when I put the back cover back on, there's a couple of bolts snapped into the main block, stopping the timing belt cover, like the inner timing belt cover, from fastening up tight to it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll worry about it later. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to comment and subscribe. We would love you as a subscriber to the channel. I mean, if you're watching it, why not? Takes you 2 seconds, doesn't cost you anything. Literally means the world to me. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you next time. Cheers.